To our next story. You know, for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Edo State, the road to the September 21st governorship election appears a bridge too far. A Federal High Court in Abuja has invalidated the PDP primary that produced Asue Ighodalo as the party's candidate for the forthcoming governorship poll in the state. In a ruling delivered this Thursday, Presiding Judge Justice Iyanekwo ruled that the PDP primary held on February 22nd failed to comply with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and the party's constitution. As far as the judge is concerned, returning officers who prepared the result sheets only sat in one place to falsify the outcome of the exercise. 381 delegates, including the plaintiffs, were precluded, were removed, and were therefore against the provisions of the law. Tony, politicians hardly play by the rules set by them.
Yeah, set by them. And you know why this one is thrilling me is based on the fact that I remember Obaseki, the fight with President Governor of Edo State, fight with former Governor Adams Oshiomhole.
Okay.
In the guise of defeating Godfatherism, because I want to
living in shadows.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to what is the cause of all this. Philip Shuaib was his deputy.
Was the deputy.
His deputy, because I don't know. He has a deputy now, but I'm still, believing he's still the guy because they were quite close, if not for this. That's why politics in Nigeria at times, I don't know. I don't know if we can ever be a politician. Because the way you play it here, it's something you cannot explain at times.
If you don't talk you cannot be, yeah.
You can never be a politician in Nigeria. The way they play their own politics is different. Okay. I don't think the rest of Africa does that. Obaseki came on the mantra of defeating Godfatherism, and he went all out to fight Adams Oshiomhole, the President Senator Adams Oshiomhole. He was governor. He's been governor. And the primary came. Philip Shuaibu, I don't have a problem with him. He wanted to contest. He has been your deputy. No matter the issues you guys have, allow the guy to contest. That's the problem I have. If somebody is your deputy, because we talked about it here many times. Someone is your deputy. You picked him up because he picked Philip as his deputy. But then towards the election, things start coming. You can reconcile these things. I remember one public function, two of them attended. The way he snubbed them, you think they've never been friends before. That's why I said Nigerian politics is dicey. And then no problem. When the guy said, I want to be governor, give him the free space, provide a level playing field,
and allow the people
allow the people choose. Allow the people pick. That's why I said a level playing field. Okay, the guy said he wanted to go. He said no, he can't. And then over 300 delegates were not allowed to cast their vote at the primary election. So what do we expect? If we continue to do things like this, then we don't have a choice but to allow the court to define the process for us.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. If we fail to do the right thing at the right time, the court will decide for them.
All right.
So that's what's happening in Edo today. It's unexpected. I used to have high regard for Governor Obaseki, but on this one, it's called a very...
Tony, you and I are legal neophytes. Our colleague here has a legal bent about him. So
illegal view.
Yes, Chris, the court order was voiced at Abuja. Is it binding?
It is binding.
Because I know you people talk about jurisdiction being key in law.
Yes, it's binding.
Okay.
First and foremost, you have to, first of all, identify the issues at here. What are the issues? The 1999 Constitution, as amended, has provisions on how, and our electoral act 2022 has provision on how a primary must be conducted.
Yeah.
That is number one. Anything contrary to that is null and void. The party itself has its own guidelines too, as to how primaries must be conducted. Anything contrary to that is null and void. So these people now who are the pro, who you call, we have pro, everything now has a pro.
And an anti.
And anti. So the pro Philip Shuaibu, the former deputy governor, as it were, and his delegates were prevented to vote at that convention held at Samuel Ogbumudia Stadium. So they felt aggrieved and now went to court, sued PDP, sued INEC.
PDP.
Yes.
To seek redress.
Yes, to seek redress. Of course, you seek redress. That's what you seek. They sued PDP. They sued INEC. They sued the national secretary of PDP. They sued the South national vice chairman of PDP at the court. And when you get to court, you canvass your case. The other person will canvass this case. The judge will sit in judgment and look at the merits of the cases.
And the merits
and the demerits there. And based on that, Justice Ekwo said that the convention, the primary that was conducted, I would say, when I said it before, I was saying it, I know that on that day, I was using the statement, faction PDP, and the former national publicity secretary of PDP called me immediately, say, CK, there is nothing like fashion PDP in Edo State. He called me. It's because on our news item, that is how we process it. So because there were two conventions, quote and unquote. There was one that was held by Philip Shuaibu himself in a place where he was returned unopposed. Then this one. But at the end of it...
At the time, Philip Shuaibu was on the good books of the number one?
No. They were not on good books already. Of course, before the primary. No, when the governor has picked the person he wants, of course, don't forget that the deputy was already having problem. He was kicked out of and they got him an obscure place somewhere in town where he's supposed to be his office. Then from there, the whole thing catapulted. But at the end of it all, it has been annulled. But what I don't understand is that if one such a primary is annulled, that means that PDP does not have a candidate in the coming election.
Well, I think
because they have to go on appeal.
Okay.
They have the right to go on appeal. But PDP has issued a statement now, as I was just coming 2 minutes ago.
They still recognize them.
Their candidate is still their candidate.
That is where we are. So let's see how this pans out. But as Tony rightly said, you said it. Nigerian politicians don't learn. Similar thing happened in Zamfara State during the last election. You realize that APC was cruising home. Practically won every seat. Until the INEC flashed the yellow card. Then I didn't believe it. Yes. Until the red card came. Of course, the red card came. And that was it. So the APC that have already thought that it has won Zamfara State, it was given to... They don't learn. And that was it. It's happened in River State. They don't learn. It has happened in several states. But these politicians will never learn. Their selfish interest is always by the factor. And I always ask, in whose interest are they acting? Not in the people's interest. People they're representing or their personal interest.
You know the answer to that question. No, you know the answer to that question.
He's just begging the question. He's begging it.
Answer.
All right, folks. That's done. Tony, September 21st is a little under 2 months from now. Yeah. So time.
So I think it's a sucker punch on PDP in Edo State. Because I know they are rattled now. Forget the statement they issued earlier.
Yeah.
It will rattle them because it goes beyond PDP as a party. And it goes beyond the fact that they have a governor, a sitting governor. We are talking about INEC here. We are talking about constitution and the rule of law.
Playing by the rules.
Yes, fairness and all that, which was, was not at play during the primaries. So I know they are thinking now, what are they going to do next?
They'll go on appeal. They'll go on appeal.
The earlier they do that, the better. The earlier they do that, the better. But right now, as we speak, I know there's confusion in the midst
But
of
gentlemen, before we pass over this
start
subject,
doing the right thing as politicians.
the viewer is wondering if the Supreme Court is waiting on this now.
Yeah. Yes, the Supreme Court. The next point is Court of Appeal.
All right.
After the Court of Appeal, they get to the Supreme
Court.
What the time frame do they have?
But we know they will explore the channels.
So, yes, okay. It was given what we call accelerated hearing.